30th of March, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora. Can I hear you?
Okay, good.
And I haven't seen Phil either.
Oh yeah, Phil told us that something about today. I don't remember. He wasn't going to be there altogether, or he was going to be traveling. I think, yeah. Yeah, there was. He said something yesterday.
He was on a train yesterday, so I guess maybe he went somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, 106B4, I think. Amar Rav Chia bar Abba.
Amar Rav Chia bar Abba. Yeah.
Is that what we are? I'm not sure. I don't know. Did I miss yesterday? No, I was here yesterday.
We were trying to figure out, right, what, oh, yeah, oh, we had we clarified the question, and we said, Malay Hakam Bayaskinen, Kagoncha Ochlu, Kashahu Katan. Yeah, no, we didn't get to Rav Chia bar, unless you mean there's a Rav Chia bar, yeah, there is a Rav Chia, yeah, which Rav Chia bar Abba,
It's near
Rav Chia bar Abba Amar Rabbi Yochanan?
yes. It's near the bottom of the page, about 3/4 down.
Yeah, the
First one on the line is Midas.
yeah. Yeah, okay, right. Tontan Skana Baveda. Yeah, this is yeah, we can go from there. Let's go from there.
Okay, Alan was here, but his wife was talking to him. I think maybe he had to go talk to her. But anyway,
Okay.
I'll go ahead and start.
Okay.
Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Chia bar Abba said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Atoin Tanas Ganav be a Veda. He claims theft by a thief with respect to a lost object. So in other words, he finds something and he decides he wants to keep it. And somebody sees him with it and recognizes it and goes and tells the owner, hey, Plony has your object. So the owner comes to the finder and says, please give me my object. And the finder says, I don't know what you're talking about. And then yeah, that's the case. Mishalem Tashleme Kefo. Oh, and then he changes his mind and he decides to admit that he now it doesn't say anything about whether he swore, so I guess he didn't swear. He just he just he just denied, and then he admits. He pays kafel. Oh, no. In order to pay kafel, you have to have sworn, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it must be that he swore. He swore that he didn't have it. And then he recanted and he said, I do have it. He pays double. My time, what is the reason? Dichsiv, as it is written, Al kol aveda asher yomar. It is written for any lost object about which he says. And then the footnote says that it's quoting from Shemos 22:8. For any matter of liability, for an ox, for a donkey, for a sheep, for a garment, for any lost object about which he says, this is it. Whomever the judges find guilty shall pay twofold to his fellow. There's a ... So I didn't give you the complete quote from the verse. There's some other words in there that I don't know. Okay, so
Right.
Okay, so that's where we are so far. He found an object. He denied and swore that he didn't have it. Then he changed his mind. He admitted, and he has to pay double.
Okay, so in this case of Toan Tanis Ganav, we're saying that the finder made a claim that it was stolen from him. That's why we call it a case of Toan Tanis Ganav. He's tining a taina that it was stolen, and like that, he would exempt himself, because a finder has an obligation of shmira on the item that he found of a shomer chinam, unpaid watchman. An unpaid watchman, if it was stolen from him, not through any negligence on his part, he would be exempt. So, and then he swears to this, that it was stolen, and then witnesses come and say that no, on the contrary, it wasn't stolen from him. He's the one who's trying to steal it.
Right.
Bava, excuse me, Bava, comma, what page?
106 B4.
Okay.
Left-hand column, first paragraph. Gemora cites.
So now the issue over here is that, yeah, and we cited the pasuk. We cited this pasuk in Shmos 22:8,
Okay.
and right, which actually does mention a kol aveda. So that's talking about an aveda. And at the end of the pasuk, it mentions that he'll pay twice. If you take a look, it's the first. Either if you want to go get a shmos, if you don't have one, you want to go look for one. You could see the pasuk in its entirety in the Torah Ora Sholem Aleph. It's the first pasuk. It's quoted. So it says over there, Ki yitain ish el re'eu. Oh, 1 second. Maybe that's not the one. That's actually not
No,
the
you're
right
right,
pasuk.
Rabbi. It says
Gimel. It's Gimel. In other words, you got all three psukim over here in a row. The Torah or is quoting the pasuk vav, pasuk zayin, pasuk ches, but the pasuk that the Gemora quotes over here as a reference, a source for this din, I'll call Aveda is actually pasuk ches, which is gimel. It's os gimel in the Torah or.
Oh,
A kol dvar pesha.
it's 22:8 in Shemos.
Yes. So it says over there, a kol Aveda, asher yomu kiyuzeh, on any lost item that he says kiyuzeh. Ad Elohim yavo devar shneim. The matter will come. The two people will come before the judges. Asher yoshiun Elohim yishalim shnaim l're'eu, and he'll pay double to his friend. So what is that case that says it's talking about an aveda, and it says that the one who was shown to be wicked was going to pay shnayim. He's going to pay, meaning he's going to pay kefil. So on this pasuk, Rabbi Yochanan says that it's talking about, in other words, how does a finder end up paying kefil? He's not a ganav. He found it, but if he decides to keep it, he's not really a ganav. So why is it that the pasuk says he pays kefil? So Rabbi Yochanan says, yeah, this is the case that he's going to pay kefil. On Tanis Ganav. In the case of Aveda. Okay, now, good. So now let's go to we don't have any Rashi. Well, we do have one Rashi over here. This Rashi, which is four narrow lines from where the wide lines begin. The very bottom over there, Dibur Maskil Al Kol Aveda.
Al Kol Aveda, for any lost object, the Gomer, etc. Yishalem Shnayim, he pays double.
Right. So Rashi's quoting where you see the reference in the pasuk that you're going to pay kefil.
Right.
Because it says he's going to pay Shnaim, he's going to pay 2 times. Okay. Now, let's go on in the Gemora. And we have an Esive. Alan, would you like to read?
So on page
106 B4, left-hand column, the bottom paragraph, a challenge to this ruling.
challenge to this ruling is cited. Asa Bay Rabbi Abba Bar Memol Rabbi Kanina Bar Abar Rabbi Abar Mamal challenged Rabbi Chaya Bar Abba from the following brisa. Ish, the verse states in the passage of the unpaid custodian, the man shall give his fellow money or vessels to safeguard. Ein ni si neis kotor balloon. This teaches that the giving of a deposit by a minor is nothing. Example, laws stated in the passage regarding a custodian do not apply when the depositor is a minor. Ve'ein li elo shenisano kashpahu katan b'bisav kishahu katan. From here, however, I know that this only regarding a case where he gave the deposit as a minor and sued for it to be returned as a minor. Nisa no kashahu katan or kashahu gadol mean regarding the case where he gave it as a minor and sued for it to be returned as an adult, from where do I know that the same exclusion applies? Talmud Lomer, Ein Ho'im Yoval, Davar Shanayim. The Torah therefore states, to the judges shall come both their claims, Ad Sheta Hey Nisi Noah Usa Or Shavin Be'achord. This teaches that the laws stated in the passage do not apply unless the giving of deposit and suing for its return are alike, both occurring during the depositor's adulthood. Now, if this is so, that even the finder of a lost article is liable to swear, is held liable to a twofold payment if he claims theft and is discovered to have stolen himself. Then let a deposit given by a minor too be considered like a lost article.
Okay, good.
So it said, the note here says, for example, if a claim by the owner of a lost article who never gave the article to the finder has sufficient weight for him to demand an oath of the finder and make him liable to kefil, then the claim of an adult who sues for return of deposit that he gave as a minor should also have sufficient weight. Although his giving had no legal value, he ought to be no worse off than someone whose property entered the other's possession without any giving at all. Rashi.
Right. So really the Gemora is discussing over here three different cases. Case number one was the case that was brought by Reb Chia bar Abba named Reb Yochanan, that the finder of a lost item who swears falsely that it was stolen from him pays kefil. That's case number one. And the Brisa, which is challenging that din of Rabbi Yochanan, is bringing two different cases. Both of these cases are cases not of a Veda, but cases where the owner of the item gave the item for safekeeping to the custodian. So the two cases are that in other words, the second case is that the not the custodian, but the owner who gives it over to the custodian is a katan at the time that he gives it over. And the third case of the three, second case in the Brisa, is where he is a gadol, he's an adult. And what we see from the Brisa is that if a child gives over an item that he owns to a custodian, he cannot demand that the custodian make a shvua that he doesn't have it if he denies that he gave it to him. Ein nesin is cut and klum. And basically, what the question is that's being asked in Rabbi Yochanan is if this is so, and therefore that case will never be able to come to a case of kefil. If he can't, if the katan can't force the custodian to swear, so then obviously the custodian can never come to a case of having that he swore falsely and he had to have to pay kefil as a tohen tanis ganav. So the Gemora's question on Rabbi Yochanan is as follows: if Rabbi Yochanan's case is really the correct din, that even someone who finds the item, he could come to a din kefil by prevailing upon him to swear, and then if he swears falsely, he's going to have to pay kefil. Then the case where a katan gave over the item to the custodian should be no worse, because in the case of the aveda, no one gave it. The owner never gave it to him. He found it on his own. So that case is certainly a case where there was no giving over altogether, whether by a gadol or by a katan. And nevertheless, Rabbi Yochanan says that case could come to a case of kefil. So the Gemora is asking, based upon this brisa that it says over here, that the katan's giving over cannot force the custodian to make a shvua and thereby become chayiv kefil. It's kasher. Why? How could that be? According to Rabbi Yochanan, he's no worse than a finder of an item who swears, who could be made to swear falsely and pay kefil. That's in a nutshell. That's the Gemara's question. Kind of a big nut, but anyway, that's what we got over here. So now, with a little background, we could take a look. Yes.
Interject. We have 1 minute before it's going to cancel the session. When it does, we need to wait 4 minutes before I can restart.
Oh.
So when it cancels us, just wait 4 minutes and then reconnect to the same connection.
Okay. Very good. So we're at the 2-minute warning now.
1 minute warning.
1 minute warning. Okay. Okay, if you want, you could start this Rashi, Ein the Sinas Katan Klum.
Okay. Ein Nesinas Katan Klum. We don't give anything to a minor.
So his Nesina that he gave over, he's the owner of the object, and he gave it over as a katan to a custodian to watch. So we say his giving is nothing. So what does it mean that his giving is nothing? That's what Rashi's going to explain.
I see. Okay.